And I'm literally straight in. This is like 10 seconds later from when I said I'm on a bit of a flu. I have noticed that my beard is starting to kind of go. I think it's good. Basically, my chin bum is going to be expressed beardically, and I'm like, oh, cool. Am I going to have one of those sort of spiky kind of beards? I think I am. My beard goal now is to have like a waggly beard. Because like the longer something is, the more expression of movement due to the laws of levers you get at this end. My beard goal used to be one that was straight down, that flattened outwards when I put my head down. I don't think a fair-skinned guy like me can achieve that, but I might be able to achieve enough of a stick beard so that it waggles when I talk. We've all got goals, Mikey. We've all got goals. But yeah, I was on about what to do, sort of pre-mental health appointment. Or indeed, if you're approaching your GP, if you are concerned that you have mental health issues, that's what they need to be looking for. Because remember, everyone's got mental health issues, and we're all on the spectrum. And all you need to do is keep calm and carry on. I fucking hate that one. Why? Because it implies that I'm fucking calm, you prick. The fuck are you talking about? Keep calm. I can't even get calm at the moment, you knob. Fuck off with that shit. And it's everywhere. And it's everywhere. And it's on towels and tea towels and fucking welcome mats and t-shirts. And oh my God, fuck off. It's not a beautiful, simple little saying. It's a dick. It's a dick. It's just basically a dick. But yeah, that's what they need to know. That's what they need to know. Try, if you can, to avoid it. Saying, I think I've got this, because it's like taking your car to a mechanic and saying it won't start, and you don't know why it won't start, and then when he starts looking through it, you go, oh, it's that, no, look over there, do this, do that. It's like you took your car to a mechanic because that mechanic knows how to fix your car. You don't then start to, well, actually my mate's a mechanic, and I see a lot of the people that come in and they do start telling him what's wrong. Amateur mechanics are hilarious. Anyway, the point is, that's kind of what you're doing when you go to see a doctor. If you go in and say, I think I've got this, I think I've got that, you're kind of trying to lead the appointment. And just on a fucking professional jealousy level, I think any human would be a bit like, oh, right, have you? And it's just probably not the kind of footing that you want to set up with your GP. Really, is it? Not saying that they would be right in being judgmental towards you about that, but it's like, it's just probably not the best way to discuss something with someone by going in there and telling them what's wrong already. And I think a lot of people do that. And, I had to do that when I got my ADHD appointment, when I spoke to that doctor. I had to. And it's basically I think I've mentioned this before, but from a GP point of view, I'll tell you exactly why it is, mate. It's because mental health services are expensive, and because they are your GP practice, their partnership gets billed for the fucking time in the clinic, and it's a lot of money. So again, they are going to be, I know some people would look at it very harshly and say, oh, it depends on the numbers, and they'll be looking for people sometimes and not other than that. That is just utter shit. That is just a dickhead's interpretation of what actually goes on, is what that is. But there is an element of truth to the fact that they have to limit the numbers because they don't have the money. Because they've got to pay for huge expensive salaries and company cars. Anyway, no, I don't want this to get too political, but unfortunately there is a political element to that. And I think it also becomes part of the weeding out process of people. I really do. I bet you, there's a trade secret somewhere that GPs pose certain questions in certain ways to just throw you off guard a little bit, and then they're looking at your reaction to it, and they're looking at what you're saying, and they're looking at how, if you're willing to walk away shouting, then you didn't really want help. If you know what I mean. There's a sort of subconscious element of like, yeah, as soon as you're challenged, you leave the room. That sort of stuff. And maybe that isn't always the best way to weed people out, because that maybe some people do just feel really helpless. I don't know. But I know that I have had some quite direct questioning thrown at me. And I know that I have seen and heard of a lot of people saying how horrible GPs were, and I'm just wondering if there's a bit of a misunderstanding with what's going on. That's what my sort of guess is because I've always been able to access mental health services. Maybe because I'm genuinely fucking unwell. Maybe there is that as well. But like I say, I don't mind it when he challenges me. I watch him a lot of the time. Like, I know, yeah, there's just loads. I spot stuff. I read people. I see the lights come on in their eyes. I see the quizzical look that people can't help giving away when they ask a certain question. And I end up involuntarily psychoanalyzing them because I'm just reading their energy without being able to help it. But, they basically don't really know you. They've only ever seen you for 20 minutes here and there, or 5 minutes if they're your GP. And if it's a psychiatrist, they might see you twice a year, or they might have only seen you once. So they're going to have some very specified ways of questioning you and then analysing your response to that question. Because a lot of the diagnostic stuff is actually around the demonstration of your mindset. And you will demonstrate your mindset without realising you're demonstrating your mindset. And the best way to do that is to throw a slightly left of centre question at someone and just see how they react. Then you can guess that that's the sort of shit that's going on when you speak to a psychiatrist. And I know that. I don't know how to do it at their level, but I know that I do it. I often see where people's head goes. That's how I judge people, by their reactions. Reactions tell you loads. So I think that's just a few things to remember with it. Is don't tell them what to do. Give them some clear pictures. Let them know what's going on. Specifically, don't just go, the symptoms list says this and I do this because this happened the other day. The symptoms list said that, I do that because that, and I think and people end up shouting because the GP, I promise you, at that point would go, okay, no. They would start silencing you because they are supposed to be asking the questions. You're going there saying, I don't know, that is the relationship, I'm afraid. When you go there, you're saying, I don't know, can you tell me this, please? So they're supposed to be asking the questions. And if you do, I think a lot of people will probably get angry at this point and end up leaving the GP, and some of them might be some of the mentally unwell ones, and some of them might be the blaggers. So I think that's why I'm making this, because, you don't want to look like you're just getting angry and going, oh, blah, 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 because that's one of those, again, a mental health issue where people reject help all the time and they try to access help and then they screw it up, they sabotage it, and that there's another kind of person that does that, and it's that sort of woe is me attitude. I've tried this, nothing works. That when people are in a desperate place, and it's a horrible place to be in, actually, it's very difficult to be around, but it's way worse to be in. So I think it's like, give them a chance to assess you properly. Give them a chance to question you properly. And be fully fucking prepared. Like I did with the ADHD one. And a friend of me had said it's much more likely to be borderline personality disorder. And at the time, I was like, oh my God, I don't want borderline personality disorder. Just because I'd seen a lot of them at work. But I'd only seen them in a very chaotic phase. But I saw how unpopular they could be. And, there is a lot of drama around them, let's just say. There's often highly emotionally charged situations are not very far away with someone with borderline personality disorder. And, that was like, I was scared of it. But it was like, well, it is what it is. Because I was asked then about, are you looking for a diagnosis? I said, no, I'm saying to you, this is what's happening. You can tell me what, give it whatever name you want, mate. You can tell me it's completely something else. Yeah, okay, it looks like ADHD to me, but if you want to tell me it's something else, you're the person who knows. That's the kind of attitude you want to give to them. Because, they have got You know, everyone's got a system to work to, and they have got diagnostic markers, is what they look for. Let them look for them. Let them look for them, because a lot of the time they will be looking for things that you don't really know exactly what they've just concluded about you. For instance, you can make people talk positively or negatively by the way you ask them a question. It's a really simple one. If you pick something that you can do, right, and pick one for me that is, let's just do it really quickly now. Pick one that you rate yourself about 7 or 8. 7 or 8 out of 10. You're really quite good at it. Something that you personally, it can be something really, really simple. It can be, you know, cooking or keeping your room tidy or anything. It doesn't have to be a massive skill. Got one? Good. Now pick one that's about 3 out of 10. Got one? So this can be something really difficult. Right. So the first one, why are you a 7 or an 8? Why would you say you're a 7 or an 8 at it? You'll start to tell me all the good things that you can do. You might balance it out occasionally. You might start to say, I'm not that because I would just re-question you. So I'm not asking you why you're not that. I'm asking you why you are this. And then if I ask you about why you were 3, you'd start telling me all the things you can't do. So it depends on the way you pitch a question to someone as to the mindset you then get from them as to what you ask. Does that make sense? But that's the sort of shit I'm on about. And that's the sort of shit that will be happening, particularly when you're in a mental health appointment, because they're, you know, trained very highly in you know, the psychology of what's going on for someone. They know that someone who thinks they've had a diagnosis of something for a great many years, in and of themselves, will have symptoms relating to that level of questioning hanging over them for that long. So they will have to actually ask themselves the questions of, has this person been so convinced for so long that they've had that has affected their life, and that is what's the cause of their symptoms? Those are the kinds of things they need to figure out. Because they don't want to give you the wrong medicine. They don't want to admit you to a hospital that you don't need to be in. They don't want to give you any treatment that you don't need. But they also don't want to tell you to go away and tell you that you're wrong. So I hope that helps for anyone who is has concerns about their mental health and needs to approach some people. And there's some little advice, tips from my own experience, from farm fresh Mikey experience of the things that I've had said to me and the things that I've done about it and my views on it. And I think that shall conclude this here series.